And a very happy Tuesday to you at 12:08 in the West. It's the John Phillips Show. Mr. Randy Wang's in Culver City.
John, for many years, we've discussed how Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass sounds like she's always talking like a kindergarten teacher.
If you're feeling down, if you're feeling blue, let's get help for you.
But have you ever wondered, Johnny, what it sounds like when she's actually talking to a room full of children?
My guess is she sounds exactly the same.
Oh, no, it goes up an octave. Here is Karen Bass at the Play LA event yesterday.
Well, I just want you to know, if you haven't been introduced to them already, we have two Olympians who are right here, two Paralympians. One who won the silver medal.
Oh, my God.
She's doing the fake kid voice.
That's how you talk to someone when they're drunk.
Arel Middleton, come on, come forward so everybody can see you. Come on, give a round of applause to our Olympian. Wait.
Let's drink the Gatorade and take the Advil. Pills are good.
Come on, give a round of applause to our Olympian. Wait.
Which Olympians did they have down there?
A couple of Paralympians you never heard of.
Did she bring the transgendered kickboxer?
One who won the silver medal.
Okay, so the Paralympics, that's the Olympics for people in wheelchairs, right?
Yes.
Did she have any soccer players there?
One who won the silver medal. Arel?
Boy, you thought she was annoying talking to adults. Her talking to kids is some other level.
But basically, when she addresses the city council, it's just a few degrees away from that.
Come on, give a round of applause to our Olympian. Wait.
Oh, my God. You know, I don't know if you've ever been aware of this, Randy, but I've noticed that if you're around a population of people for a certain period of time, you start talking like them.
Oh, yeah. When I go to Texas for a week, I start saying y'all all the time.
Okay, have you ever seen a group of kindergarten teachers get together?
No.
They talk to each other like that.
Well, they're at a point in their lives where they have more child friends than adult friends.
I guess. I wonder if they eat the paste, too.
Come on, give a round of applause to our Olympian. Wait.
I don't know if she eats the paste, but she definitely sniffs the glue.
What is she saying here? Wave?
Wait.
All right. Well, now I know what she sounds like talking to kindergartners. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. During the pandemic, when we were all supposed to stay at home, I took that as an opportunity to travel the globe. And one of the things that I noticed while everyone else was locked inside their house and very few people were traveling at the airport was that the homeless decided they were just going to go ahead and live at the airport. I drove into Palm Springs Airport one day, and I saw a bunch of homeless people bathing in the fountain outside the building. And then I entered the building, and I noticed there was no place to sit inside the terminal. This is before you go through TSA security, because the homeless had taken over that too. I started asking questions and found out that this was not something that was just a Palm Springs Airport thing. Other airports around the state were experiencing the same thing. You see, airports, even though you would think they're only for travelers, are owned by the public, which means if the public wants to go live there, I guess they can, and not just Edward Snowden. So, at a certain point, when the business travelers came back, they were horrified to see all of the bums living at the airport. And at some point, they decided they were going to do something about it. They kicked them all out, and they ended up back on the streets. Well, in San Francisco, the homeless problem at the airport is still going on.
For a report on the increase in homeless people at SFO, Here's KPIX.
Good evening. It's been more than a year since the Supreme Court gave cities more leeway to clear out homeless encampments. And during that time, an unexpected place is seeing the consequences. There's been a surge in the number of homeless people at SFO.
You'd figure OIK.
Okay, how could you tell the difference between a homeless person living at the airport and just a regular standard Spirit passenger?
Airport officials say the average number of homeless people each week at both the airport and the SFO BART Station has nearly doubled since last year. It's also a problem.
All those people that were championing getting public transit to LAX, guess what's coming?
Okay, you don't want to spend any time at the airport when you're traveling. Imagine spending all of your time at the airport and never getting to Dallas.
It's also a problem in nearby Millbrae, and officials blame the spike in part on San Francisco's homeless crackdown. Dahlin reports.
What, so they're all going outside of the city into the airport, which technically isn't in the city?
Well, I think the homeless, they look at it and they say, okay, if there's any place for us, it's the airport. Because they say, take off your shoes. You go, I'm not wearing any.
Dahlin reports on what's being done to address the issue.
And gosh, they just did so many renovations to that airport. This was London Breed a year ago when they opened that new terminal.
Wow, this is really nice.
I'll get ready to acid wash the carpet.
The problem isn't as visible during the day, but at night, some say these end-of-the-line BART stations become makeshift shelters for the homeless.
John, what have we said about the end of the line?
If there is an end of the line in your community, sell your property now.
The end of the line means that's where the homeless get off. And they all get off in the same place. Long Beach, Santa Monica,
Whittier.
And cities, including places like SFO, are trying to figure out how to help them. Many BART riders, like Sharangoon Adganbatar, credit improvements.
What is that name?
Good on him for attempting to pronounce it. It sounds like he did a pretty good job.
Many BART riders, like Sharangoon Adganbatar, credit improvements in the system to the
Sharangoon and Gambatar.
Is that one person or two people?
I think that's one person.
Oh.
like Sharangoon Adganbatar credit improvements in the system to the new fare gates.
I avoid taking it at night, so maybe it's like a different situation at night. But at least during the day, it's definitely like much safer than how it used to be maybe like a year, maybe even like a few months ago.
She takes BART 3 to 4
BART has put these really strict fare gates in as many stations as possible because turns out when you take the fare evaders out, you're also taking the homeless out.
Oh, yes. And suddenly it becomes usable again.
She takes BART 3 to 4 times a week between Berkeley and Millbrae and says she's seeing fewer drug users and fewer homeless people.
I would remember like seeing people like actually take drugs on the BART like a year ago, but then now it's like I haven't seen anyone like that.
While
You can still do that on LA Metro.
Knock yourself out, kids.
While the problem isn't as widespread, it's still persistent. An SFO official recently told the Airport Board Commission that back in 2024, they were coming into contact with 222 homeless people a week at the SFO BART station. Now that number has jumped to 414, nearly double.
Oh, boy.
That's no good.
She blames San Francisco's aggressive homeless crackdown for pushing people into neighboring cities.
Well, you can do the same thing if you want to.
This is what the city of Los Angeles would complain about forever and ever and ever. Well, the reason our number is so high is because the police officers in Burbank kicked them over to our side of the border. That's not Burbank's fault. That's your fault for not doing anything about it.
Well, for the longest time when L.A. had an exploding homeless population, in Glendale it was perfectly fine. And you talk to people at the city level in Glendale and they say, oh, yeah, we know exactly what to do. We have beds for the homeless that none of them want, and then we enforce all of the quality of life laws, and the bums realize almost immediately life is much easier in L.A., so that's where they go.
We found Spencer Jeffrey, an unhoused man from San Francisco, at the Millbrae station.
They have been cracking down, and there's a lot of people.
Boy, isn't it funny how just with the slightest sound of someone's voice, you can tell that they've been doing meth for 10 years?
Instantly.
They have been cracking down, and there's a lot of people that are just like finding other places to go.
Much like if you're in the South, you start talking like the South. If you're with kindergarten teachers, you start talking like kindergarten teachers. When you're around meth heads, you all have the same affectation.
Let's hope that Da Lin doesn't start speaking like that.
They have been cracking down, and there's a lot of people that are just like finding other places to go. I think it's ridiculous. Like, it's like homelessness is becoming illegal.
The issue.
The drug use is.
Well, there are many aspects of homelessness that are illegal. You can't camp in public, for example. You can't do drugs in public. You can't go to the bathroom in public. You can't steal people's mail. You can't steal people's packages. So, yeah, it is illegal.
I think it's ridiculous. Like, it's like homelessness is becoming illegal.
The issue isn't new. We interviewed Millbrae's previous mayor in 2023 about end-of-the-line stations dealing with homelessness.
We get 30 to 50 of the unhoused pushed into Millbrae, turfed into Millbrae every day.
Current Millbrae Mayor Anders Fong says the city is working with BART and other regional partners to reduce homelessness.
Millbrae recently has, enacted an ordinance of no camping. And so that also put more tools in our toolbox so that our law enforcement official can help, assist those who are experiencing long-term homelessness, chronic homelessness.
Both the Millbrae and SFO stations are also partnering with social workers to connect homeless people to resources.
Oh, boy.
Yes, because when you hear the sound of that individual that we just heard from, you can tell that the high cost of housing is the reason he's having problems.
What we are doing is strengthening our infrastructure so it's harder to get into the system without paying. And then once you're in the system, you're going to see a larger visible safety presence, both against sworn officers and the non-sworn officers.
BART expects to finish installing new fare gates at all stations by the end of the year. The San Francisco mayor's office and SFO declined to comment on the story.
So there you go. Increase in homelessness at the end of the line on BART, including at SFO.
And there's no way you can tolerate that, because if you're dealing with airports, you're dealing with tourists. You're dealing with people who are coming to your community to spend money. If they get off the plane and the first thing they see before they even see the Cinnabon is they see a bunch of homeless people, they're never coming back. You will kill off your tourism industry. The other group of people that uses the airport a lot are business travelers. If you're a business person and you travel all the time and you pay a fortune for first-class tickets and you get out of your Uber and you walk up to the front door of the airport and there's a bunch of homeless people living there, you're going to find an alternate airport. Because when you're dealing with Northern California or Southern California, there are different regional airports that you can choose from. A lot of people use SFO because they fly United, because that's United's hub. United offers a lot of nonstop flights. So you may live next to Sacramento Airport, or you may live next to San Jose Airport, or Monterey, or Oakland, or whatever, but you travel to San Francisco because you want to get your miles on United, whatever. If that experience is so unpleasant, you'll just take a flight out of Monterey and connect in Denver or connect in some other hub city and move on to wherever it is that you're going to. There are ways around these things if the government fails us. Same thing is true in Southern California. You think about the number of regional airports we have to choose from. It's not just LAX. We have Ontario, we have Long Beach, we have Orange County, we have Burbank, we have Santa Barbara, we have Palm Springs, we have San Diego. We have a ton of airports to choose from. So if LAX becomes so awful that people just rather not go on the cruise or rather not go on the business trip than put themselves through that gauntlet of abuse, well, guess what? Pay a little extra and go out of one of the regional airports that's clean and safe and easier to use. These big airports may think that they have a monopoly. In reality, they don't. They're in competition with other regional airports. What they have going for them is convenience because there are more nonstop flights. But if it becomes inconvenient to use their facilities, then guess what? Bye-bye. If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And Randy, you're monitoring the mailbag.
Eric the mailman writes in at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. Hey, Cool John and Hot Randy. Karen Bass absolutely sounds like Sloth from the Goonies. Hey, you guys, can I get a remix of that clip you played of Karen Bass and a Shengi drop of your choice? Thank y'all. Well, let's see what we can do for you.
Come on, give a round of applause to our Olympian.
Olympies!
Those two really do complement each other, don't they? And Randy, my monologue on Friday's show about the mayoral election, actually, no, that wasn't Friday's show. It was on Friday's show. It was at the end of the show. On the New York mayoral election, with the socialist candidate winning, I compared it to Upton Sinclair running for governor here in California. That happened during the Great Depression. Well, suddenly that ended up as an op-ed piece in today's Wall Street Journal. If you want to go back and you want to listen to the monologue on Friday's show, it was in the 2 o'clock hour. That's easy to do.
I might do it myself because I was 3 margaritas deep at that point. It was my day off. Search for The John Phillips Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go to the Apple Podcast app, iHeart, Spotify. Search for The John Phillips Show. Hit subscribe. You can download all the episodes. You can do a Google on the YouTube or get one of our apps. Get the KABC app, get the KSFO app, and then you'll be able to listen to these podcasts wherever you go. Just be careful that you're not so distracted by the show that you can't see that there's a crazy guy with a machete in the intersection in front of you in downtown L.A.
Pobrecito, no.
In the meantime, what do you say we make a couple of listeners very happy?
790 KABC welcomes Carly Pierce with special guest Restless Road at the Pacific Amphitheater at the OC Fair on August 14th. It's all part of the Toyota Summer Concert Series. Tickets on sale now at pacamp.com. But right now, caller number 9 at 1-888-795-2222 gets spare tickets to the show. All concert tickets include admission to the OC Fair. Tickets furnished by the Pacific Amphitheater. Good luck dialing.
In San Francisco, we know that parking tickets are something that are quite common, as there are a lot of cars and not a lot of spaces. However, this is a new one. People are now getting parking tickets after having parked their car in their own driveway.
And this is because of a jackass neighbor who's going around with a camera in the 311 app narking on anybody whose bumper sticks outside of the line where the sidewalk is.
He sounds like a real sweetheart.
For more, here's NBC in the Bay Area.
Getting a ticket for parking in your own driveway. Several Mission District neighborhoods say that is exactly what's happening. Parking enforcement officers say they're just responding to parking complaints filed on the city's 311 system.
But they're not blocking anything, so even if someone complains, what exactly are you doing?
Now, this guy, well, what he really does is belong on an HOA board.
NBC Bay Area's Sergio Quintana spoke to a lot of frustration.
I wonder if this is one of those ADA attorneys that likes to go to small businesses and says, hey, your paper towel dispenser is too high and people in wheelchairs can't reach it, so give me $100,000 or I'm going to sue you.
You know, 10 seconds into this, and I already figured out the fix.
What's that?
You're not going to fix this by trying to reason with this man. There's no law that's going to allow you to fix this. You got to take the law into your own hands here. And the way to do it, now wait a minute. The way to do it is to partner up with that Chinese company that sent all of their defective car seats to that woman in San Jose and get them to switch the address to this guy's home.
There you go.
NBC Bay Area's Sergio Quintana spoke to a lot of frustrated neighbors.
I think this is not the way Larry Reed wanted to start his afternoon. We were with him today as he discovered a citation on the front window of his car.
All right, what does this say?
So this is a citation. This is notice a parking citation. This
$108.
$108 to park in your own driveway.
I'm sure the person calling the city is real popular in this neighborhood.
For parking in my driveway.
It was issued last night according to the city's 311 system.
This guy sounds like he was not awake yet.
$108 for parking in my driveway.
That's a guy that has not had his morning coffee.
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's morning for some people.
$108 for parking in my driveway.
It was issued last night. According to the city's 311 system, a complaint was filed, a parking compliance officer responded, issued a citation, and the complaint was closed. Here's what the complaint was filed for. Reed's car is partially parked on the sidewalk. What's frustrating for Reed...
It's not. It's in the driveway.
Those driveways are not spacious like you see in Southern California in many cases. Those driveways are very, very tiny because the city is the size of a postage stamp. There are very few single-family homes, and if you're fortunate enough to have a driveway, it's not very big.
Well, this city, a lot of these homes were built when cars were much smaller. But that's not the owner's fault of the new car.
Reed's car is partially parked on the sidewalk. What's frustrating for Reed and some of his neighbors is that after years without issue, someone is suddenly calling in these infractions. A lot.
We don't know.
We got a neighborhood narc.
They need to figure out who's doing it.
A lot.
We don't know what the deal is. It's just when we park on our driveway, we get a notice. And it's been reported at 311 multiple times. But one picture multiple times.
Wait, the guy's using the same picture over and over again on the app to send these people tickets over and over again?
That shouldn't be allowed.
This is the photo that was submitted to 311 for the complaint against Yolanda's car. You'll notice the make of the car is embedded into the photo. Yolanda's son-in-law says he started noticing an interesting pattern about the 311 complaints after he also recently got a citation.
So I don't know when these photos were taken, but somebody obviously has a collection of these and is just reposting them.
We noticed the same.
Here's a question. So they're getting ticketed because a portion of their car is blocking the sidewalk, correct?
A very small portion, but yes, that is the allegation.
Okay. What about the homeless encampments that block the entire sidewalk where they're not allowed to do anything about that?
Oh, yeah.
We noticed the same thing on some of the pictures attached to...
Should we call 311, have them give the tent a ticket?
Oh, I'm sure they'd be right on top of that.
We noticed the same thing on some of the pictures attached to recent 311 complaints as well. Whoever is submitting the complaints has also etched extra info onto some of the photos. David Chen was with us when his neighbor, Larry Reed, found his citation.
There's like 10 foot of open space. It's not causing a problem for anyone with accessibility issues. It's literally somebody making themselves feel good by submitting it and trolling us and getting us tickets.
According to the SFMTA, they're not specifically cracking down or targeting any specific infraction. Instead, they're simply responding to the 311 complaints.
Yeah, but shouldn't there be a system if all of your complaints are coming from one person who either has a screw loose or just wants to ruin the lives of everyone in their neighborhood?
No, I'll tell you what this is. This is someone with way too much time on their hands. And people with too much time on their hands become neighborhood Napoleons.
As for the neighbors, no one is happy about the sudden flood of 311 complaints.
The thing is, it's never happened until this year, so it seems to me it must be somebody who's newly moved in.
Reed has...
Oh, now, see, they're starting to narrow it down.
Okay, we'll figure it out, boys.
There's going to be torches in the streets.
Reed has even gone so far as to post notes on some of the light poles in the neighborhood, politely asking whomever is calling 311 or filing those reports to simply call him instead, and he will gladly move his car.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. This isn't about that.
No, they want to get you in trouble.
In San Francisco, Sergio Quintana, NBC, Bay Area News.
It's funny that, you know, we think of simplifying working with local government with these apps when you have a problem, like you need bulky items picked up or you see something that the city needs to work on. You can take a picture and you can send it them. But who knew that somebody would weaponize this to start just screwing over everyone in their neighborhood because they felt like it?
Well, when you are researching a house, when you think you're going to buy a house, people look frequently at the wrong things. You look at how the schools perform. You look at the crime in the neighborhood. You look at the walkability of the neighborhood. You look at the condition of the roads. You look at all of these factors that certainly contribute to the enjoyment of the neighborhood. But what matters more than any of those things is the quality of neighbors that you have. If you have neighbors who are good neighbors, it makes it so much better. If you have neighbors who are pills it will make living there a real pain in the keister. I've had it both ways. At my last place, I had the most wonderful neighbors you could ever hope for. We disagree on everything politically, but we got along on everything else. And we still are in contact, even though I haven't lived next to these people for years at this point. I was just talking to her over the weekend.
You regret moving every day, don't you?
Now my situation is very different. I don't quite have this guy, but let me tell you, I have someone who's aspiring to be that guy. And I respond about as well to it as you would imagine. Now I'm going to go to a break before I say something that'll get me in trouble. Because I know that HOA listens. So this next story can be hard to follow at first glance, where a garbage strike in Boston, all the way on the other side of the country, is wrecking my hometown of Garden Grove, California.
Anyone that has a city with a contract with this specific garbage company, I think it's called Republic something, they're also on strike, even though it's really the Boston chapter that's on strike. So Garden Grove smells like garbage, and Fremont smells like garbage, and several other cities throughout California are suffering because of a garbage strike that has gone into its second week. For more on how Garden Grove is turning into Garbage Grove, I know that was low-hanging fruit, but I had to do it. Here's KCal.
Solidarity through solid waste, garbage overflowing in bins across Orange County.
If there's one union that has leverage, it's the trash men.
Oh, yes. Even the strong will buckle after a day of them being on strike.
As local workers end their trash collection disruption, standing with striking workers on the East Coast. KCAL's Michelle Gili is in Garden Grove, seeing and smelling the impact of the work stoppage.
Oh, boy. This is one of those where the assignment editor comes out and you got to go do the story about how stinky the town got. You know the manager doesn't like you.
And I'll tell you something else about Garden Grove. Not only do you have the people who live there, and it's a sizable city. It's not a small town at all. It's probably, I don't know, one of the top 25 most populated cities in California, maybe certainly in the top 50. However, that's where most of the hotels for Disneyland actually are. Disneyland is in Anaheim, but many of those hotels that you think are in Anaheim that you might stay at if you're going to Disneyland are actually in the city of Garden Grove. That city makes a huge amount of their revenue based on the bed tax of people who are staying there so they can go to Disneyland or California Adventure, go to the Angel Games or Duck Games or whatever is going on in Anaheim at that time. So if suddenly all of the people who are spending a fortune to go to Disneyland suddenly have to breathe in those fumes back at the hotel, they're not going to like it, and they're not going to say nice things about Anaheim and Garden Grove when they go back to Iowa.
Piles of trash in the street in Garden Grove.
Oh, it's nasty. It's very bad.
Well, thanks for connecting those dots.
Oh, it's nasty. It's very bad.
It's an easy man on the street day when you just have to ask neighbors, hey, doesn't it stink right now?
You know, and not bad for me. It's bad for the neighbors.
Garbage bins are overflowing in many Orange County cities that contract with Republic Services. This Huntington Beach neighborhood had a scheduled pickup last Wednesday.
I walk every day and it's starting to smell.
Especially this time of year where the hot sun is radiating on those black bins.
Well, I'll tell you what's crazy. This is going on for a short period of time here, and we're all going nuts because we can't handle the smell. If you walk the streets of New York City, that's how they have their trash situation set up. There's just bags of trash in the street constantly in that town, and the entire town smells like garbage.
The local work stoppage began last week, which has meant that rubbish cans have been sitting curbside for several days in some cases. by late morning Monday as Huntington Beach resident Tom McCaw called his trash company for answers.
What's the status on the strike and the lack of pickup?
Officials announced that workers locally returned to the job, which made McCaw happy. He still wasn't sure exactly when the trash should be picked up on his street.
Day 4. And, I'm fortunate that it's just me and my wife and my dogs, and I've got a half can. So, but some of these poor people, they got overflow.
They got pizza boxes. They got rotten food. It's not looking good.
Well, I mean, there are certain weeks where you don't go through a lot of trash. You're on the road, you're home alone, whatever the case may be. But if you're unpacking a lot of boxes, or you bought a bunch of stuff from Amazon and you have all of the packages you have to get rid of, or you have people over and you're cooking a lot, cooking produces a lot of trash, and you have a trash bin that's overflowing, your life is ruined. You might as well just move into the Hampton Inn until it's over.
Well, and think about the people that are trying to hide the fact that they're an alkie and they like to dump all their liquor bottles into the recycling bin the morning of trash pickup so nobody notices. And now you have a trash bin that's just full of wine bottles for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Oh, no. If you're an alcoholic, you're supposed to hide them in your neighbor's bin.
Customers say they were given the option to bring their garbage to Republic Services dumpsters placed at parks, schools, and city yards.
Haul your own trash.
That sounds appetizing.
I believe there's somebody here in the complex that is offering to do that for $20 to come and pick up. I mean, good little side business, depending on how long this lasts.
Isn't that scabbing?
Yeah, don't tell the garbage men that person's doing that, or they're going to end up in the trash compactor.
Trash trucks started rolling again on Taft Street in Garden Grove after a 3-day absence.
My plan is hopefully I can get him, and once he empties that trash, and I can fill the other ones. Hopefully. I'm not saying he's going to do it.
Hey, just wait on a second. Don't move just yet. I got another load for you.
Well, you know what's going to happen. How many trash bins does your company give you, Randy?
I get one black one, I get one green one, and I get one blue one.
I think I have 4, and I'm not even sure what they're for, so I put everything in there the wrong way. But what would happen, I assume, is once you fill up the trash one, whether it's recyclable or not, you're going to just start filling that one up. And then once you fill that one up, whether it's grass clippings or not, you're going to fill that one up with trash. And you're just going to keep on going.
You know, I'm just saying hopefully he can wait.
It worked. Bags of garbage sitting in the gutter since Thursday are gone.
Oh, a lot better now that I got to clean now.
In Garden Grove, Michelle Geely, KCAL News.
The teachers union likes to think they're the union with all the leverage. It's the garbage men.
For sure. Let's go to Henry in Anaheim. Henry, hello.
Hey, John, longtime listener, and I'm an Anaheim resident, and we had a great experience here just the other day. We went into the In-N-Out Burger over there on State College. Anyways, we're sitting there, and here's 3 Boston guys from the trash company. The union flew them out here to help march and protest out here while they were on strike. And, you know, I looked over at him and I said, you know, we don't need to have more taxes and pay more. California is so high, it's not even funny. I don't know what your taxes are in Boston, but give me a break. And a woman sitting on the other side of them said, yeah, you know what? I just dodged a strike because I work for the grocery union, and we just got lucky and missed a strike. She goes, but you know what, sir? You're right. Our taxes out here in California are ridiculous, and now we've got $20 an hour McDonald's workers that don't do anything, and you've got $30 an hour maids in Los Angeles. Where does this stop? And, you know, I took a little bit of break because In-N-Out, they really like to crank the air conditioner, and I got a little cold. So I stood outside for a few minutes, and
Uh-oh. We're out of time, sir, but thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it.